Coming up, part 3 of the Diz Team Goes West. We talk about the hotels of the Disneyland Resort as well as Downtown Disney. Coming up next. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the DIS Unplugged Roundtable discussion, coming to you from the Bob Varley Studio in Orlando, Florida. I'm your host, Pete Werner, joined at the table this week by my good friends Shaun Thompson, Craig Williams, Tom Bell, Corey Martin, and of course, Dustin West, our producer, back in the production nook, along with the Holy Cone. We're going to talk about the resorts at the Disneyland Resort, Grand Californian, Disneyland Hotel, and the Paradise Pier Hotel. Before we get started on that, though, I do need to do some disclosure. We did receive consideration for our hotel rooms out in Disneyland. So I need to make sure that's made clear up front that, we got a good deal. But I will tell you that it does not affect, as you will find out, it does not affect our opinions of what we experience, but I do feel it's only right to say it up front that we did not pay full price for these hotel rooms. We're going to start off because we all stayed, we kind of broke up into teams. Dustin and I stayed at the Paradise Pier.
Short
Shaun,
straw?
What's that?
Short straw?
No, I've stayed at all of them.
Okay.
I've stayed at all of them, and I haven't been at the Paradise Pier in a very long time. And since this was Shaun, my personal favorite, of course, is Disneyland Hotel, but Shaun and Craig had not gotten a chance to be out there and have that experience, and I really wanted their first time doing that to be at the Disneyland Hotel, and I think I made a good decision there.
Yes,
I think they're very happy with my decision. So they were at the Disneyland Hotel, and Tom and Corey were over at the Grand Californian. So I want to start off. Paradise Pier, my least favorite hotel of any of the Disney resorts I've stayed in. Not because it's a bad hotel, because it really isn't. I'll be honest, it really isn't a terrible hotel. The room is very comfortable. The beds were very comfortable. We had a theme park view. We had a beautiful view overlooking California Adventure, the Paradise Pier section. Could see World of Color perfectly from our room.
If we had been there.
Well, there was one night I was and you weren't. I don't know. I think the night for Fantasmic, my legs were killing me. I wanted to go back and rest. And I went back to the hotel room and was able to watch World of Color from the room. Unbelievable. My problem with this hotel is that it was not built by Disney for Disney. This was actually built as an overflow property for the 1984 Los Angeles Olympics. And Disney eventually bought the property and ever since then has poured a ton of money into renovating it and kind of bringing it up to standards. The rooms are a decent size. Again, comfortable. I didn't walk into this room going, oh my God. There is something about the theming of it I don't like. It doesn't feel like a Disney hotel to me.
It's not the type of hotel that Disney would build outright. I understand that they did a lot with what they had and what they acquired, but I don't think Disney would build one of those big, tall hotels that goes up so many stories. They like the more expansive hotels that are more spread out.
And there's nothing grand about the lobby area when you walk in.
No, nothing.
It's just there.
That's really my problem with the Paradise Pier. The rooms are fine. It's the everything else, the lobby, the food, the amenities of the hotel need something.
Room service, for example, at this hotel, they have breakfast, they have dinner. There's no lunch and there's no late night, which I thought was really odd.
And there's really no quick service at the hotel?
There isn't. There's PCH Grill,
right?
Which is their character. They have their character breakfast there.
Right.
And I know they serve dinner there as well.
An unfortunate dinner, yes.
Unfortunate dinner. I did not eat there. We did not eat at PCH. So I can't say, but I will take Tom's word for it. There is a place in the lobby for grab and go, like little sandwiches, pastries and things in the morning, coffee. Some of the things we saw there, though, there in particular, we had some service challenges.
Yeah.
With that area, but one of the things I saw, he's not supposed to have it on the table. But can I see that cup you have in front of you, Corey?
It's empty.
Right.
I just brought it for props.
Oh, you knew I was going to do this. A cup similar to this, which is kind of like a paper styrofoam cup. When they were making lattes, they were putting the milk and the coffee, putting the milk in this and steaming the milk in this. That's really dangerous. Steam to that temperature, these are not designed for that. I had to point that out to them. That you have, that metal container you have next to the steamer, it's there for a reason. That's what you use. And then you put the steam milk.
Plastic melts.
Yeah. So, little things like that I was spotting. We had an issue one night where I was standing there. There was one person sitting at the bar, because this is a bar area and a lounge, like a little lounge area, a little seating area. There was one person sitting at the bar. There was one person sitting at a table. Both people had been taken care of. And this bartender person is walking around doing things, looks right at me, doesn't say, "Excuse me, I'll be with you in a moment." He's cleaning and wiping down, and I'm standing there. And I eventually, a little Jersey came out of me. And I said some things, nothing inappropriate, but I made it really clear that that's not a standard of service that we expect at a Disney hotel. And of course, then we get taken care of.
Right.
By contrast, the next night there was another young woman working at that coffee bar, and I needed a cup of coffee in the worst way. And I asked her, I said, "How old is the coffee?" And she looked, she goes, "It's been here for a while." But she's like, give me 10 minutes and I'll make it nice and fresh for you. And this was toward the end of the night. She didn't have to do that. And she did. So she got a very nice tip from me for doing above and beyond.
Right.
So generally speaking, service was fine at the hotel, with that one exception. The pool of this hotel is located, I believe, on the 5th floor.
Something like that, yeah.
It's more of a rooftop pool. It was under renovation while we were there.
We didn't get to use it.
So we didn't get to really see it. But it's, kind of
open
odd.
air?
It's open air, yes.
Oh, okay.
I feel like, because this was my only experience ever at Paradise Pier, even the times I'd been before, I'd never even stepped foot on the grounds of Paradise Pier. And I feel like if the pool had been opened, Paradise Pier would feel like it has more of those amenities like Tom was talking about, more of those common areas. Because as of right now, with the pool closed, it's literally just the check-in desk, the goofy, or what is it, the restaurant, the PCH Grill, and the coffee bar, and that's it. When you come down out of the elevator, that's all you see. Head on toward the parks, because there's not much going on. No, if the pool was open, if we had that kind of experience, it might have felt a little more accommodating.
Yeah.
for what we like to do.
There's a very small arcade, nothing to write home about at all. But there's a small arcade there.
I have to ask Tom something.
Okay.
And I only see it at Disneyland, at the Paradise Pier, and both at the Disneyland Hotel. You know how lobbies have like the little TVs where kids can sit and hang out?
Oh, yeah, they have the themed areas.
Yeah, what's up with that at Disneyland where they have separate rooms for that?
Yeah, that's segregation of kids. I don't know.
What was this, at your hotel?
Yeah, they have that.
There's one right next to Steakhouse 55 too.
Yeah.
where there's a little room where kids can go in and watch TV while.
Okay, because at the Grand, it's incorporated in the lobby.
Yeah, we have
Okay.
the Disneyland Hotel has one in the lobby too that's open with the teacups.
Oh, okay, cool. Oh, that's right, the new
Yeah.
teacups. Yeah.
No, the one in the in Paradise Pier was its own like sequestered little room.
Yeah.
Yeah, right next to the arcade. That's what made me think of it.
And I don't know. It's I noticed that as well. The price difference between Paradise Pier, Disneyland Hotel, and the Grand California. Well, price difference between Paradise Pier and Disneyland Hotel, depending on the time of year, depending on their occupancy rates, because it changes, can be anywhere from $20 to $50 a night. But you're still expecting to pay upwards of $200 a night for Paradise Pier. That is considered their value, quote unquote, resort. I got to be honest. Beds were very comfortable. Room was very comfortable. Room was clean,
Yep.
well appointed,
Fantastic view.
fantastic view. So I really can't say that you should not stay at the Paradise Pier. I will say that it is my least favorite of the three. And that would I, if for me, I've stayed off site at Disneyland too, and there are some great hotels off site. Don't get me wrong. I prefer to stay on site. I do. I prefer that when I'm at Disney World. I prefer it in Disneyland as well. Because it is a little further away than the other two hotels from all the action, doesn't matter because it's so easy to walk to everything there. It's not a big deal.
It's still, even though it's farther away, it's still just as close as like Boardwalk is to Epcot. It's
Right.
It's not that far away when you
Right.
really think about it.
Yeah, it's the difference between staying at Boardwalk or staying at Swan.
Right.
It's just, it's a few steps away. So, but perfectly acceptable property. If the price point, if that's going to make the difference, that price point is going to make the difference. Certainly worth it.
I went and checked out your room. I thought the room was nice. The highlight is definitely the view. If you get that view,
The theme park view.
and you're a higher floor, that was incredible.
Yeah,
What floor were you guys on?
we were on. I want to say we were on the.
No, we were on the
We were on the 13th floor.
we were on the 13th floor.
And this hotel was built by a Japanese company. American companies don't build hotels with the 13th
Apparently, it doesn't phase.
floor. The Japanese Japanese do. They don't have the same superstition we do. So it was a little unnerving for me.
I don't understand why couldn't Disney just rename
Yeah,
the
they were
floors?
just free. Take the number off.
I don't know.
Change that
That-
3
I
to
don't
a
know.
4.
They didn't.
That's a lot of infrastructure change. That's expensive, Shaun.
They have to cut the floor out completely and then
Removing a whole-
sandwich down the rest of the floors. It's somebody's got to hold the rest of the building up. So it's really quite involved. I want to be clear. I'm not trashing the Paradise Pier at all. If I had to stay there again, I would. It would not be my first choice because my first choice at the Disneyland Resort is the Disneyland Resort, the Disneyland Hotel. It is the original Disney Hotel. Now, granted, the very original part of it was wiped away in '99 to make room for Downtown Disney. But there are some books. We'll get a link in the show notes page to this book if we can still find it on Amazon. There is an amazing coffee table book that I got that Kevin Close had gotten for me out in Disneyland about the early history of the Disneyland Hotel. From the idea when Walt first went to Jack Rather and said, "I want you to build a hotel," to not so much where it is now. I think it stopped like in the '80s. And at the point that, it's, I think it, no, it actually goes, I think it goes as far as talking about
Disneyland buying it.
Disneyland tearing down. It goes as far as tearing down the original structure. And you can tell the author was a little bitter about that. But this is the original Disney Hotel. And I think, personally, for me, I have my favorite hotels, Fort Wilderness, the Polynesian are my favorites out here. but I would give both of them up in a heartbeat to stay at the Disneyland Hotel. It is magnificent, and I'm just such a huge fan, especially after this last redesign. The rehab of the rooms,
Yeah.
I think they are gorgeous rooms. The pool, what they did with that pool area, I think was outstanding. The entire place, the adding Trader Sam's, Tangaroa Terrace.
Right.
I was going to say, Disneyland Hotel has, what you could call a couple killer apps there, and that's Trader Sam's and Steakhouse 55.
Agreed.
No other place has those
Well,
two
we're
things.
gonna let Craig and Shaun talk about their time at the Disneyland Hotel and what they thought.
I'm just so glad we got to stay here.
I know he is.
The other resorts, I didn't actually see Paradise Pier, but I did see Grand California. And it's
And just
beautiful.
not for nothing, other bosses,
I
bosses
know.
would have said, "Oh, you're you're over Paradise Pier. I'm staying here." No, I really did want you to have that
Yeah,
experience.
and it was unbelievable. I didn't know what to expect really, because you hear Disneyland Hotel. I wasn't sure what the theming was. Like our resorts here, they kind of fit along either Polynesian or contemporary. You even kind of know the aesthetic, but I wasn't sure what it was going to look like. And I thought it was amazing. It's beautiful. We were in the Adventure Tower, which I was very happy with because I love Adventureland. But there's 3, so there's Fantasy, and then there's also Frontier, and so they're themed after the different areas of Magic Kingdom.
Yeah, I looked at some of the pictures that were on the DIS just so I could have a general idea of what I was getting myself into. And it's just one of those things, pictures don't do it justice.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm talking specifically about the headboard.
Yeah, so
In there.
the rooms were amazing. So when were these refurbed?
These were only the last couple of years.
He starts laughing when he sees them.
Shut up.
Yeah, it was about 2 years ago.
About 2
Okay.
years ago, these were rehabbed.
Because it used to be, what was it, the Peter Pan theme?
Yeah, the
at pool area?
Neverland pool.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. The first thing I noticed was the size of the rooms. It was a huge room,
Yeah.
I thought. And the
Yeah.
whole back wall was a window. So
Well, and again, these towers were built. You're talking about the 60s and 70s. These towers were built to the standard size of a hotel room in those days, a lot larger.
So what did they tear down?
They tear down the original part. Okay, I can't even do this. The original part of the Disneyland Hotel was actually more of a motor court. So these were exterior entrances
Oh.
when it was originally there, and it extended to where the monorail
Yeah,
station
there were
is.
shops and restaurants out
As
to where
well.
the monorail was.
Yeah,
Is-
that's what I
is-
remember.
Yeah, is.
But these were more like garden apartment type rooms and things like that. And then I think it was in the early to mid 60s, I may have my dates off, they built the first tower, which is the check-in tower now. Fantasy Tower.
And that's just, I know it's a few years after Disneyland first opened, but it's just so iconic. It really is. When you pull up to it from the access road, you pull up and you see that tower, and you've seen that in so many books and TV shows and everything.
And then they accentuate that with all the stuff they hang in the actual building. So
Right.
like the posters are lining the walls.
That big, huge shadow box.
Yeah, the shadow box filled with all
Yes,
this old...
the most amazing shadow box.
Everybody loves a shadow box.
I do.
Yes, we
It's a
do.
shadow box.
But it's like the world's biggest shadow box, and it's got this.
It's not like
It's all
old
this
Disney animals.
amazing Disney history in there.
There's
Oh.
old name tags with like...
There's a Walt name tag. I don't know
like-
if that's actually his, but
There was a Pete.
it was. It was mine.
Yeah.
It was mine from the 50s.
I thought so. No, I liked. Sorry, are you going to
No, go
talk
ahead.
about it more?
I was going to talk about the map.
That's what I was going to talk about too.
So when you first walk in the doors, you face this huge map, and it's like printed on kind of like a clear, plastic, and then behind it they show lights. And so at different parts of the Magic Kingdom, they'll show these lights. So at Jungle Cruise, they have like the waterfall.
Yeah.
They have Dumbo, I think,
They had
spinning.
Dumbo spinning.
Yeah.
They had something with Tomorrowland too. Like I wish I would have took more pictures of it or some video.
We have pictures, so I'll put those up. But
Oh, fantastic.
yeah,
That was really
Wow.
thank you for
I'm sarcastic.
No, it was my
Lord.
plug voice.
They spend a week together in a hotel, and they're just like an old married couple.
Check those out on the show notes.
oh my god.
Wow. Oh, now he's coming. Now he's coming for me.
Then we need to go
Now
back
he's
to
coming for me.
the headboard story.
Yes.
Oh, okay, yeah, yeah.
yeah.
So back to the rooms. We had 2 queen beds, and the whole back wall that kind of connects the 2 beds. There's this big headboard, and it's made of like dark wood, and there's an engraved Sleeping Beauty castle on it, and then there's like little fiber optic lights that form like firework shapes. And so the idea is when you're ready for bed, you like flip the switch. And it plays a song. It's like a music box. I think it's When You Wish Upon a Star. And then the fireworks go, and it's really pretty.
And most people say, "Oh, isn't that lovely? Let's turn it off for the night."
Okay, yeah.
That's most people.
We made a deal. We said if either of us woke up in the middle of the night and were annoyed by the lights, we would turn it off, and then no one would care.
Did y'all pinky swear?
But we wanted to keep it on because it was like fiber optic fireworks above your bed, and they were nice. And so that was the first night. We both left it on.
Yeah.
And so then you can finish the story with the second night.
Was it the second night?
I don't know.
I don't remember. Either way, one night, I went down to Trader Sam's to get a drink because
He had a lot of them.
I didn't have that much.
You needed a new mug.
He was
I
collecting
needed-
mugs,
I
and they
needed a
came
new
with stuff
mug.
in it.
Yeah, so I had to get another one because Shaun had already beat me by like 3 mugs at that point, I think. He was racking them up real quick.
Thank you.
So I come back up to the room, and the lights are already on, and he's in bed like half asleep, and I just looked at him.
It was like 1 a.m., I think.
Around that,
Does it
maybe.
matter?
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
I should have waited
I got annoyed because he didn't wait for me to do the fireworks show.
because it was our thing.
Okay, but it's not called the fireworks show. It's called the Kiss Goodnight. Craig was upset because Shaun didn't wait for the Kiss Goodnight.
That's so sad.
That should be in his obituary.
Yeah, you were very upset.
I was, but he got better about it, and we didn't miss another Kiss Goodnight for the rest of the trip.
He learned his
He
lesson.
learned his lesson. They went to counseling.
He did.
You know, they talked it out, and you know,
It was Trader Sam's counseling.
Yeah.
it was Trader Sam's.
Yeah.
This could almost be called the Trader Sam Show.
We could.
Oh, it will be,
spend-
because-
We could do an entire show on Trader Sam's.
I think it was all our favorites. So that's it about the room, I guess.
Yeah, I mean the room was huge.
Yeah.
We could have fit another family of 4 in there, just sleeping on the floor if they
I'm
wanted
glad we
to.
didn't. I don't know where we would have gotten them.
We could have found someone
Trying to
on the
sync up
street.
the Kiss Goodnight with all those people would have been
Dog.
crazy.
But yeah, the room was really nice. The bathroom was huge, I thought.
Yeah,
Nice size.
It was nice, and I mean,
You had a pull-out
it was a
couch.
bathroom.
I like the details in the bathroom, like the Mickey hand holding
The
up the
faucet,
light
yeah,
or whatever they have.
Then the faucet, they had like a Mickey attached. Even the shower pull, when you turned on the water, it had a Mickey head on the top.
Yeah. The view was great too.
The view was beautiful. We were overlooking the pool and Trader Sam's.
Yes.
I was upset that they have no Stacy in Disneyland.
They have no propaganda channel,
They
really.
have no must-dos.
You know what? One thing I did like about it, and it might be like the Walt Disney nerd in me or something, but being in the Disneyland hotel, like being the iconic hotel of it, and then all of the papers and the you know room service menus, everything was plastered with a classic picture of Walt on it.
We even had them on our walls.
Yeah.
So there was this
It's
huge
just
photo collage. of all the
Walt
different-
sitting under that or standing under the gate of the castle.
Yep.
That
yeah,
photo.
it just everything like every little piece of Walt in that room just made it even better. Yeah,
Every piece of Walt.
every piece of Walt.
The shadow of
I wasn't I was
Shut up
gonna
with
do
that
it right
damn
to you.
shadow already. I'm telling you, it was there.
that was part of the Kiss Goodnight.
I know, and even a week later, we're
Walt's
still talking
kissing
about
goodnight.
it.
A week later.
A week later.
Let me ask you about the bathroom.
Don't make me come
Was-
back there.
Was the I forget? Was the bathroom combined? Like
Yeah,
the
it was one
sink,
room.
the sink and all in the shower, everything
Yeah,
was
it
combined
was
in one.
The toilet had its own room.
There was a toilet room.
That's
yeah.
good.
Yeah.
The
it was-
throne room.
But I mean, you had to access it through the main bathroom. So there was one door for the bathroom. You walked in, there were sinks to your left, and then the toilet room was on the right.
And there was a great picture of Walt in the toilet room as well too.
Actually, there was
That's-
a there was a
that's what
Jungle
you-
Cruise picture.
That's what you want staring at
He
you.
was just watching.
Laughing. Laughing at you.
Oh, where is the segment going?
So, all right, let's talk about the rest of the resorts. The Disneyland Hotel is, I mean, it's very large.
Yeah.
The pool area, again, recently redone. I love the fact that they decided to make the icon of the pool area the old Disneyland sign.
That's great.
I thought that was a
So
really
that's-
nice touch.
It's actually up on a staircase for the slides. So you have to walk up the stairs, and then the slides for the swimming pool, they're kind of themed to be monorails. So there's like a blue monorail and a red monorail. And then it's one's for like the really longer slide, and then one's for the shorter one. But it's placed perfectly right in the center of the entire resort. So you can just, so many good photos.
Oh yeah, it was. I mean, I would have liked to go down the slide. The little kid inside of me.
The best part of the pool, I think, was that the bridge that walked over.
Yeah.
You could actually walk over the pool. I thought that was cool.
And over in that area is Trader Sam's and Tangaroa Terrace. Trader Sam's is a bar, but it's a tiki bar.
Enchanted Tiki Bar.
And for those of you who were on Podcast Cruise 3, you met Kevin Kidney and Jody Daly. They had a hand in helping design that space. Some of the old artifacts from the Adventurers Club out here at Pleasure Island made their way into Trader Sam's. But Trader Sam's has a lot of specialty drinks that come in a variety of specialty mugs, one of which Corey is pointing to right now.
Yeah, that would be.
Just do that. And this is one of them. I don't know how well this is
the
coming out.
Shipwreck on the rocks.
And this was one of them. And let me just tell you, this is solid. This is ceramic, really, really nice.
Beautiful.
And these are collector's items.
Well, and actually, the one you have right now, that's the second edition. Yeah. So the brown one is the first one.
The brown one is the first one.
Yes.
So they make new ones and have new editions of them. And
Well, it's like pin
which
trading.
I thought was brilliant that they're doing this, because this is the sort of stuff you want to collect. It's not a coffee cup. It's something much, much different.
Yeah, they're all over my desk. Like, that's all I sit around is a bunch of Trader Sam's mugs.
Sounds like a seance or something.
It is.
The Trader Sam's.
I put all my cables in my
This is another one that
the shrunken zombie head.
the shrunken zombie head.
That one was strong.
Oh, scary.
And that's a fairly newer edition.
Yeah, you can't put a little.
It's a
Not
first
the
edition,
little
but that one came out
Sweet drink.
most recently.
Yeah.
It says first edition. First edition of this mug.
Right.
And then there were
So there was the Krakatoa.
Krakatoa, which is a
So-
larger.
Yeah, before we go on, every signature drink that you ordered, if you were in the bar, there would be like a little show that went along with it. And they do kind of like a little thing where they ring a bell and then some effect happens inside
with
the
every
bar.
signature drink.
Yes.
Yeah, not for the shrunken zombie head.
Oh.
Yeah, they didn't do it for those two on those two cups. They
Only
did it
the
on the Krakatoa. They did it on the
you definitely
They
get a
do it on the
shipwreck.
shipwreck.
the shipwreck.
Yeah, and then they do it for the Aoa, which
Yeah.
we were
The
outside
Aoa,
for,
yeah.
but they still brought out the cinnamon so we could throw it in the drink that they set on fire.
But you have to be inside to really get the full experience.
Yeah. Because
We had six of us, so we never ever found a spot in there for all of us.
Well, that's
it was
why I was going down late at night by myself. But like the first time I got the shipwreck,
Aw.
I was embarrassed because I didn't know there was going to be a show, and so they do it and he's like shipwreck on the rocks, and I'm like, oh. And the next time I went down, I'm like, okay, I want this drink, but don't do the show, please.
I'll give
Don't
you
do the
extra
show.
$1 if you don't do the show.
I did tip him more to not do the show.
Start dancing around you.
I think it's worth reiterating what Corey was saying. You know, it's we had a larger group, and there's mostly just two tops or bar tops, and then like a couple tables for four in there. It's a very small space.
It's
and it's
extraordinarily small.
yeah, and it also is a huge draw for local college age, maybe even cast members hanging out after work or whatever. So it's no matter what night of the week it is, it's going to be busy inside, especially. But there is plenty of seating outside on the.
Well,
Generally,
Yeah.
there is. We've had issues with that too, because there is a
rope.
a rope that they put across, because the porch area outside of Trader Sam's and Tangaroa Terrace are connected. They're right next to each other. And so you might think that you can go like hang out over in that area and get waited on, and you can't. So they have this rope up. And so you have all these tables and chairs that are completely empty over on the Tangaroa Terrace side. And then you have a million people outside of Trader Sam's. And it's kind of frustrating because you're looking for a table that's a perfectly good one 5 feet away, but you can't sit at it because you won't get served drinks.
Right.
So
also, there weren't enough bathrooms. The bathrooms were single.
they were single seat bathrooms, and
So there's always a line outside.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to lock them because,
Yeah.
Shaun walked in on somebody.
No, I didn't.
You said you did. Somebody walked in on somebody.
Oh wait, no, I did.
you did.
wasn't me.
Okay.
I just remember.
Shaun's like, no, I
He
didn't.
blocked it out.
I didn't see anything.
How many mugs deep was he?
There is a bathroom. There's a bathroom inside Tangaroa Terrace. If that's still open, there's a larger bathroom
okay.
inside there.
Yep.
Which was basically just like Captain Cook's.
Yeah,
Right.
basically.
They even had the same computer screens
Right.
that you order
exactly. Yeah.
your food off of.
Trader Sam's, by far the best bar I've ever been to.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah,
and the
like-
food too. I mean.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah. We got a lot of appetizers from there.
They had the fried green beans, which have like panko breading on them.
I have dreams about those.
They're so good. And then they had like these short ribs, I think. Is that what
I
they
love
were?
the they call them pork wings. I love
wings?
those. I
Oh,
love
those pork wings. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah.
Stop it. I'm so hungry right now.
know.
Stop. No.
You're killing me.
It's just really, really, really good bar food.
Let's
Some of
move
the
on.
best
Let's
bar
move on
food
to
you'll ever have.
Steakhouse 55.
Shut up. Tangaroa Terrace, counter service. Very good counter service, I might add. There's some really, really good food in there.
and again, you're not just going to get burgers and dogs. I mean, it's
Right.
themed.
And it's, exactly. There is Steakhouse 55, probably one of my favorite places to eat at any location in the
Definitely.
Disneyland area. Phenomenal steakhouse. Always a great meal. Very rarely has there, there's been one or two times where it's been a little disappointing, but never to the point of, oh my Lord, I'm not coming back here again. The signature rub they use they'll put it on any of their steaks, but I believe it's their ribeye.
The ribeye, yeah.
That has the signature rub. And usually when you're in a really good steakhouse or in any steakhouse and they're talking about they've got a rub on the steak, it usually means the steak isn't quite that good and they're using the rub to flavor enhance it. That's not the case here. This rub is so perfect, it's so well balanced, and it works so well with that steak. It's amazing.
That's what I have in my head when I go there is that rub. Not necessarily the environment or anything else, even though I do love the old black and white photos on
Yeah.
the wall. It's just that rub that I know is going to come on a steak.
Yeah, and so
in the
Corey,
selection of
the
wine.
photos on the wall, I forget her name. The woman who owned it?
Oh, Benita Granville. The original name of the restaurant was Granville's, and it was named for Benita Granville, who was the wife. She was an actress who was the wife of Jack Rather, the man who built the hotel.
Okay.
And Jack Rather was the producer of The Lone Ranger. He owned a series of radio stations, I believe. He had, the Rather organization. And so he was the owner. He actually went into, and this is all from this coffee table book I was talking about before. He went into partnership with this woman. It didn't go well. He ended up buying her out. But Benita Granville was his wife, and that restaurant was originally named Granville's for her. But now it's become Steakhouse 55. But on the walls there are pictures of celebrities.
They're photos from her personal collection. I think she
They
even
are
took
from
them.
her personal collection, yes. You have Lucille Ball and Desi Arnaz having dinner at
Shirley
Ciro's,
Temple.
and you have Shirley Temple. You have other celebrities, but these are from her personal collection. So
I thought that was the greatest part of it, the history that happened in that place. Like,
Yeah, but also the steak.
yeah, the steak was good.
Yeah.
I was more crazy about that the baked Alaska dessert that I had, the root beer.
The root beer.
oh, that was so good.
Yeah, the steak, yeah, it was good, but then I had that root beer dessert. Like,
Our breakfast there was great too.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
And then we went to, we had Goofy's Kitchen,
Yeah.
which I thought was the opposite experience we had at Plaza.
Yeah, the food was good.
Food was good, character interaction, all one of them.
No one would talk to us or interact with us. Yeah.
Why?
Oh, in Goofy's Kitchen.
Yeah.
it was.
Yeah.
And this is Tom. You have been saying that this is a
Right.
complaint
Yes,
for a while
on the
now
boards.
with that
Yeah.
location, that the character interaction at Goofy's Kitchen isn't very good. Now it stands in contrast to when we do the Backstage Magic, the Adventures by Disney Backstage Magic, and we would have breakfast there, which they're not doing anymore. The characters were all over us. We had tons of them, but I think that might have been the Adventures by Disney piece.
Well, and I think we ate a little later. This
Yeah.
switching
true,
over,
true.
over
We're
from
switching
breakfast to
over.
brunch.
And we were in that back room.
Yeah.
So I don't know. And plus, we're like six.
Six grown men.
But
Yeah.
even
But we
even
had-
not being in that back room, I walked around looking for characters, and there was like one
know.
walking around.
One thing about Disneyland, though, the collection of characters is so interesting.
Yeah.
Like, people that you would never expect to be together. It was like Mulan, Baloo, Rafiki,
Yeah, and then the plaza,
get
we
along.
had Max
Yeah.
in there.
That was literally every character you ever thought of.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
not thought of.
Right.
Forgotten.
Or never. the son I never wanted.
I'm looking for Max.
So, the Disneyland for me, personally, hands down, my favorite.
I
My
live
favorite. It's amazing. It is, for me, a reason to go back out, which I booked my next trip as soon as I got back from my last one. As a matter of fact, I think I might have been on the plane and I booked that. But while we were at the Disneyland Hotel, we had a chance to interview one of my favorite Disney artists. You see behind me the Disneyland
Shadow box.
over here, the Cars Land. If we cut over to Shaun or Craig, I believe, you can see the new Fantasyland 3D paper shadow box back there. All of those done by a brilliant, brilliant artist. Actually, also behind Dustin, the Haunted Mansion piece.
Switch to you.
Cut to you. Back to me now. All done by this amazing artist. I absolutely love him. Dave Avanzino. We had a chance to interview him while we were there. We're going to show you a short clip of that interview. The full interview is available on our YouTube channel, and you can find links to that on our show notes page, along with everything else we're talking about in our shows, disunplugged.com. So here's a little look at our interview with Dave Avanzino. Now, talking about, like, I hesitate to use the phrase average piece because none of your pieces are average.
Thank you.
But how long does it take you to put one of these things together?
It's hard. It's hard to say. It's like I always think people probably, if I was really honest, they'd say you can do it that fast, because it's probably 2 to 3 weeks from beginning to end. But that's from the time I started actually painting it. Months before that, I'm concepting it out.
Right.
And so there's a lot of time in the concept. Most of the time my concepts are approved pretty easily. I mean, every now and then there's, change this, change this. That was a hard one because it didn't exist yet. Like doing a Cars Land piece, there was nowhere to go and take pictures of. So I was totally dependent on the concept art. And as I was telling you earlier, was fortunate on a trip back there. Literally about a week before I came home and painted, I actually got to go touring with an Imagineer. So I was able to actually take some of my own pictures to use. So I come home and, I use Photoshop a lot to size, I'll take a picture and I'll crop it in Photoshop and I'll kind of lay everything out where I want to get it the size I want. And then I don't paint one big painting and then cut it apart. I actually paint each piece separately because of the overlap. You don't want to just repeat an image and see a different thing behind. I want this thing to go way behind there and not be able to see as you physically move around the object. So, it could be, and I always paint them a little larger than the edition size will be, because when I frame the original, I want it to be 25% larger so that it has a distinctive, something different than just framing it as it's sitting next to the edition and one is 10 times as much. I want it to actually have a little bit more size to it. And so, it kind of depends on the piece, but that one was a really extensive painting.
And like I said, you can see the rest of our interview with Dave Avanzino on our YouTube channel. And links to that show notes page, DIS Unplugged.
I just want to go sit by the pool again.
I know. Those cabanas, the pool are fantastic.
Yeah.
Absolutely fantastic. Pool has great cabanas, by the way.
Yeah, and you guys had those green beans from Trader Sam's. And I remember, this is very sad that I remember this, but you left some on the plate. You left them there to die. We could have had them now.
I don't think they would have tasted quite as good, Shaun.
Still
I really
so sad.
don't. He just came from there. He could have
Tom.
brought
Stuffed him in
him
the cone. I don't know.
Your cone bra.
the cone bra. Yes, he's the reinvention of Madonna. All right, moving over to the Grand Californian, where Corey and Tom stayed. Tell us your impressions.
For me, the Grand Californian has that wow factor that I don't think, well, for me, the other resorts don't have. You walk in and there's that massive lobby, similar to Wilderness Lodge and also Animal Kingdom Lodge, as it should. It was designed by the same person. So it has that massive, huge lobby with the focal point being a large fireplace in the center. And the other wow factor is how convenient it is to everything. It's attached to Downtown Disney. It's attached to California Adventure. Now, everything's close in walking distance, but this is ridiculous.
It's
how close
absurdly
this is.
Yeah.
I just wish if I could take pieces from the Disneyland Hotel and move them to the Grand Californian, it'd be a perfect hotel for me.
I just want the 2 through whatever floor of the Disneyland Hotel stacked on top of the lobby of I'm sorry. Yeah, Disneyland Hotel.
First of all, I think it's an act of heresy to talk about changing anything at the Disneyland Hotel, especially in reference to the Grand Californian.
I'd like to bring the room. I'd like to bring the room from Disneyland Hotel over.
Yeah.
Well,
That sort of that style has a wow factor at the Disneyland Hotel. That you walk into the room at the Grand Californian.
that has a wow factor too. You go, wow, really? I paid that much for this?
You can hear the sounds of Sephora out your window.
We did. We had a downtown Disney view, it was obstructed, but every morning we'd put a little crack in a sliding glass door, and we'd hear the music from downtown Disney. It was nice. It was nice to wake up to.
And I just, for reference sake, I want to just let people know kind of what we're talking about pricing wise here. I just randomly took a look at a 6-night period in May of 2013. The Paradise Pier Hotel, $1,586 plus tax for those 6 nights. So who's got a calculator handy? Somebody?
No.
Do the math. I've got iPhones all around me. I've got a math major over here.
I'm going to need the numbers again, actually.
1586 over for 6 nights. Not including tax.
9,516?
No, divided by
Oh,
1580.
I wasn't paying attention. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I was looking at the map.
Okay.
What is it? 15?
$265 a night.
All right,
Thank
Tom's
you.
got it.
$265 a night at the Paradise Pier. The Disneyland Hotel is $300 more for the week at $1,836 for 6 nights for 2 adults,
So 306.
and that's $306 a night.
That's not a big difference now.
No, it's about $20.
I was thinking it was maybe $100 difference.
No,
today, but
no, it
yeah,
never
okay.
is. It never is. And then $2,038 for the same 6 nights at the Grand Californian.
$340.
And that's an awesome price for the Grand Californian.
is.
That's an awesome price because I can't tell you the number of times we look at the Grand Californian and find prices for, and this is for the Grand Californian. We're talking about a standard view room. Disneyland Hotel, we're talking about a resort view, a pool view, and at Paradise Pier, a standard view. So the number of times we look at Grand Californian and these rooms are going for $500 and $600 a night for a standard room. Standard, that's not a view, that's not concierge. $500 to $600 a night. And you walk into these rooms, and I'm sorry, personally speaking, I think these rooms are dank, dark, musty looking, and not at all comfortable. Not at all what I consider a luxury resort to be. And
They weren't horrible, but there was no wow factor. It was like,
These
okay,
are-
we're in our room now. Let me go back
Size-
out to downtown Disney.
size and layout is the equivalent of a Walt Disney World moderate resort that you are paying $500 to $600 on average, $500 to $600 a night for. That's why I don't like it.
We did have a balcony. I did enjoy our view of downtown Disney. That was nice. But yeah, the room is it's a room. There's nothing.
And for that kind of
there's
money, I'm
nothing
sorry.
spectacular
It
about
should be a room that sings to you. Their
Especially
room
after
sang to them.
Exactly. Especially after
Literally.
Especially after seeing their room. I come to ours. I'm like, oh, it's sad.
Right.
But the resort itself is beautiful. I mean,
The
if I could
resort
just
is
sleep in the
beautiful.
lobby.
Yeah.
And there is also the fact that this hotel, there's an entrance directly into California Adventure from this hotel, which is a nice feature. I don't know that it's worth.
But this resort has a lot of other features. There's the Mandara Spa. That's not at the other ones. I assume anybody can use it, but that's convenient there with the gym, the health club. There's the lounge, the Hearthstone Lounge. That's a nice place to kind of
Yeah, it's
sit
great.
and have a drink or
And they have that
whatever.
outside
And you can
area.
always find seating there
Yeah.
sometimes.
Always sometimes.
Yeah, always sometimes. I was thinking of our experience. Okay, do we have to push tables together?
Yeah.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
They have good beer there too.
Well, we found that consistent pretty much
Yeah.
everywhere. That
Not like
everywhere
here.
we went, there was a nice selection of beer.
Craft beers too.
They have 2 pools. Do they have 2 or 3? 2 or 3?
Yes, 2 or 3.
2 or 3 pools, which
I think they built a new one when they added the DVC units.
Right, there's a DVC pool.
Yeah.
one thing I found interesting at the pool that they had a sign for free swim diapers. I've never seen that before. You always have to bring your own. So they had a thing where you just grab swim diapers if you have kids that are. You didn't notice that, Shaun?
No, I didn't. I'm happy for Tom. He didn't have to go to
This is also, I mean, this is a problem, I think, at every hotel, especially at Disney World, but it is out of control in California with people putting toddlers and infants in hot tubs. What the hell is wrong with you? I don't want to swim in your kid's pee.
Is it safe for them?
It's probably not. I say all the time, you're boiling away your grandchildren. Stop it. I was in once, Walter and I were out at the Grand, and this obnoxious cow and her 2 obnoxious children. These children are swimming in the hot tub, splashing everybody, and she's. I was drinking at this point, by the way. I wanted to dump my drink on this woman in the worst. Oh, you have no idea. Oh my God. I wanted to light a cigarette, then put it out on her. If you're going to put your kids in a hot tub, first of all, if something happens, it's your own fault. You're stupid. You deserve it. Number 2, at least be considerate of the other people that are in there. We don't think your kids are cute. We don't. We don't find them charming at all when they're splashing. They want to splash, go in the damn kiddie pool. It's not a bathtub. I'm done now.
I really wish that you would put on a different pair of glasses for that.
Yeah, I was looking at the selection over here. Those sunglasses would have been
could've.
perfect.
That deserved sunglasses.
Which
actually.
one? Some shade? Some shade for that?
Something you look, look down.
throw
That
some
would have
shade.
been.
Yeah. Start over.
No,
And again,
And keep your kids out of the damn hot tubs.
Yeah. So they offer swim diapers.
Oh, is that where? Okay.
There are. We didn't eat at Storytellers Cafe. They have a character breakfast over there. They also do lunch and dinner. But we did have dinner at Napa Rose, which I think that could be a whole segment
Yeah.
by itself.
I legitimately think it was the best meal I've ever had.
Yeah, I
do.
Shaun said that night, and I have to tell you that it
and
rates. It definitely rates in my top
awesome.
5.
The food was awesome, but it wasn't about the food. It was about the
It
experience.
really was. Yeah.
Well, we had the best server
Hashtag.
in the history of servers. His name is Saucy, and if you go to Napa Rose, you must get Saucy as your server. He has a personality like no other server I've ever seen, and he can be a little over the top, but his knowledge of his menu. Every server at Napa Rose is a sommelier. So they are wine experts, every single server. I think it's one of the only restaurants where that's the case. Usually restaurants have one sommelier. This restaurant has a dozen of them or more. So he knew everything. This is a professional. This is a true professional. Best service you'll ever have. He will bend over backwards for you. I've had Saucy before as a server several times, actually, at Napa Rose. And it was great because I haven't seen him in 5 years, 6 years. He remembered me as soon as I walked in.
He's one of those servers where you just say, okay, order for me, bring drinks for me. I'm just going to sit here.
He knew
You take
everything.
care of it.
Any question that we asked him, he knew.
He had the answer to.
Yeah.
And that definitely, I think, that was that one piece that just pushed that dinner over the edge because the food absolutely lived up to it.
Oh, yeah.
And I've talked about, disappointments at Napa Rose in the past, that we've had some meals there that were not very good. Last time I was there before this, it was kind of a Club 33 experience where we felt rushed. We were rushed out. At that point, neither Walter or I were drinking wine. And we felt that because we weren't drinking wine, we weren't a valuable table, and it wasn't busy, but we felt like we were rushed out. Not by Saucy. Not by Saucy. That would never happen with Saucy. But we'd had a couple of bad experiences there, and I decided, for that kind of money, I'm not going to spend it. But this time, I wanted to try it again, and I wanted these guys to try it, and I'm so glad we did.
And I remember sitting there at dinner, halfway through dinner, and we had a reservation for Club 33 the next night. And I remember saying to myself, there's no way Club 33 is going to compare to
I
this.
said the same thing to myself.
It's not going to compare to this.
And we were right.
It just didn't. I'd go back. I want to go back, bring the kids to all the stuff I want to show them, and then definitely bring Julie there. And we'll put the kids in like the little daycare thing they have. It's Pinocchio's workshop.
You put them in the little room in the lobby.
Yeah.
Here, here's the television.
Watch TV.
Don't go, Ferris. Watch your daughter, your sister. We'll be back in a few hours.
I don't know if the other resorts have a child care area.
Honestly, I'm not sure. I don't know where it would be in the
No,
Disneyland
it's
Hotel.
just Pinocchio's workshop.
Yeah, so that's a nice little perk that's open from.
I mean, anybody.
The other
anybody,
resorts, can use it.
They can use it. Yeah.
Oh, it's from ages 5 to 12, so I'll have to wait till they're a little older. There's also fast food,
Whitewater
snacks. You grab and go if you don't want to sit down and dine. What else is there about the Grand Californian? I mean, besides how beautiful everything else
You
is.
talk about Storytellers.
Storytellers.
You have Storytellers Cafe. Serves breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
It's a character breakfast.
It's character breakfast, but it's a la carte and buffet for dinner.
You can do either. Well, I don't.
I always thought it was. I know for breakfast it's a la carte or buffet.
Menu or buffet. Lunch is. Excuse me. Lunch is off a menu. Dinner is a buffet.
Okay, and disappointing, generally speaking, when I've been there. It's not great.
It's not a huge selection, and last time we reviewed it on the show, it was not good.
It's too bad. It's too bad. For our upcoming Adventures by Disney Backstage Magic, we have 2 breakfasts there.
No, the breakfast is fine. It's the dinner that's.
Yeah, the dinner. Yeah,
dinner
Well, the
buffet
breakfast. I guess the breakfast is good. Yeah,
In the breakfast,
but they have those Brother Bear characters.
Right.
Well, I was just going to say that particular character breakfast seems to be the only one that has a theme
Yeah,
to it.
It's woodland creatures.
Yeah, but
Chippendale and
the people working there are dressed like they're out of Deliverance. I'm waiting to hear Ned Beatty squeal like a pig. Seriously, it's very like magical Deliverance.
Magical deliverance. The sequel.
Ned Beatty's Revenge.
Tom's not going to make it. So cut to him.
That makes it better.
Oh Lord, come on! We're all tired. We're punchy at this point.
One thing about the Grand Californian I loved is the outdoor areas are really pretty. They have that one courtyard that there was always either a meeting or
Right.
I think we even saw a wedding or something.
Always something
I don't know if it
going
was
the
a wedding,
monorail
but
goes overhead.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's really beautiful. So I
And
guess you could rent
they
that.
have both that. Well, all 3 hotels have huge conference centers and.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. All right. Finally, and certainly not least, Downtown Disney. Much smaller than ours at Walt Disney World. That's to be sure. In my opinion, far better. It's, I don't know. It's, first of all, the amount of entertainment at night that is out around Downtown Disney. Different musical artists. There's like a stage in one place that people were doing salsa dancing one night, and then there's, I think Zamfir with his flute somewhere playing.
Well, again, you go back to what you talked about last show. You're in Hollywood. You're in LA.
And you have this amazing talent pool.
Yeah.
And again, it's a lot of locals.
Mm-hmm.
Some great restaurants here. Ralph Brennan's Jazz Kitchen. We had a Sunday brunch there on St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah.
That was outstanding. The food there, generally speaking, outstanding. Tortilla Joe's.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoyed my meal there. We had a pre-flight meal.
Oh, yeah.
Right. Tortilla Joe's is owned by the Patina Group which is the company that manages the in Italy,
Via Napoli and
Via Napoli and
Italia.
Tutto Italia. Thank you.
well, and they also
And-
have Naples here. Naples Ristorante.
They have Naples at
I'm sorry.
yeah, not here.
Not
there.
here, there.
And there's the Patina runs a great restaurant. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. Tortilla Joe's, Naples, out at downtown Disney in California, and of course Tutto Italia and Via Napoli here. Great restaurants, great food. Those are two of my favorite places to eat out there, Naples and Tortilla Joe's. You've got House of Blues out there, which I think is, on par with ours, which is pretty good. I think our House of Blues is actually pretty good. They do a gospel brunch out there. My favorite place to eat, though, at downtown Disney, and this is also owned by the Patina Group, is Catal. And it's a Mediterranean restaurant that if you can't... I don't know why, because the food is so good, why this place isn't packed every night. And yet, you can pretty much, whenever you're there, walk in. You can walk up to the podium, say, party of 5, and you're in.
Well, it really is a huge restaurant.
It is a big restaurant,
It's
true.
got a lot of tables.
And also connected with that restaurant is the Uva Bar, which
love
is
that.
dead smack in the middle of downtown Disney.
It's a circle, and the door always changes. You never know how to get into that circle.
I think they were painting. Or something.
Yeah, they were doing some work there.
It's a great place to eat, drink, and just people watch because you are in the middle of downtown Disney.
Yep.
Smack dab in the middle of
Yeah.
the street.
And there's a limited menu at the Uva Bar. There's some stuff from Catal, but it's not the full menu.
But it's still very good. The lamb burger.
yeah.
Oof.
We talked about Naples, Naples.
The Naples.
And there's Napolini.
The quick service.
The quick service, and that's pizza and some other types of Italian food.
There's a La Brea Bakery.
Very
La Brea. And I haven't done La Brea since it was redone.
I haven't either.
So-
but they have sit down and they have quick service. And don't forget, we just got Earl of Sandwich.
Yeah.
Earl of Sandwich, that's right. That's right. Earl of Sandwich just came in.
It's the closest thing to Disneyland Hotel.
Yeah,
Oh,
so
yeah?
You just go right
convenient.
across.
Yeah.
was great.
Oh, they also have the ESPN thing with the scary
ESPN
faces.
zone. Yes.
Yeah, there's like these
that just
scary
move back
carvings
and
on the
forth.
wall, and their heads move back and forth. It's very creepy.
So is that just the ESPN club, kind of like the one we have here?
Same.
Okay.
Yeah, I think right.
Yeah. It's a restaurant.
Yeah. So, in addition to that, of course, is the shopping, and lots of little kiosks and some larger shops.
Stores that you wouldn't expect, like Paxson, or was it Paxson or was it Suncoast?
Apricot Lane.
I thought it was PacSun.
Yeah, it was Paxson,
Yeah.
and then they had
It was
Sephora.
quick.
They have a
Quicksilver.
Sanook
Quicksilver.
store.
Oh, it was
Quicksilver,
Quicksilver.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
Quicksilver, yeah.
Just like stores like that you wouldn't expect. There was a Best Buy kiosk that you go through, and it'll, like,
There's at least
push out
3
there.
or
Well,
4 of
Quicksilver
those.
saved the day for the GoPro, right? That's
Yeah.
where I
Yeah.
bought the GoPro.
Yeah, that's where we got the GoPro.
And then there's some specialty ones like
That someone forgot.
ouch.
Hold on.
He's gonna put him down. Now we have multiple GoPros.
Only had to spend how many hundreds of dollars on? It's okay. It's okay. It's only.
But you got a better one.
Oh, we did. Now we have 2.
No, it's good that we have. It's good that we got that one actually, because it is a better one. So, I forgive you.
Good.
Now that he's crying.
Oh, I'm fine. I feel great.
Poor Dustin. He's in the back by
Oh
himself.
no, please! At this point, he's made out of leather. He's made out of leather. So,
Sun damage.
no, being whipped.
Jesus.
Being whipped for a year.
And there's Vault 28,
Yeah.
Thank you.
I was upset that
Dustin's
they,
like, please change the topic.
yeah, which I was upset because they used to have like guy stuff in there. Not a lot, but they had a selection of hats like I'm wearing now. I actually bought this at Vault 28 when I was there in June.
Yeah, and then they moved it, right? It's in D Street.
Yeah, it's in D Street, but not as a
It's
big
not
a
as cool.
selection. So it's
Yeah.
all women's clothes
Yeah,
now.
Yeah, it is.
That whole corner, there. It's just like Vault 28, D Street, and Fossil. What?
What? What are you laughing at?
Him with that. Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it is.
It's creepy.
Okay.
Yeah, so in the same line, they have. They're all kind of connected, but they have the Wonderground Gallery, which is my favorite store in all of Disneyland, and they have all these specialty prints and artwork.
It's basically like a hipster version of Art of Disney.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so much better.
It is better.
Yeah.
Some
Yeah,
of
I
the stuff in
agree.
there is amazing.
I have to agree. It is.
And they only have it
some,
out there.
Some of it's also amazingly expensive.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, there are some pieces in there I was looking at going, you got to be kidding me.
One good thing, they invite some of the artists out
Yeah.
there to do signings.
Every weekend or every month it's a different artist in residence.
Yeah,
They bring out to the Wonderground Gallery on the weekends.
that's great. I hope
Yeah.
we get something like that here.
We need something like that.
Yeah.
I agree. And of course, the world of Disney out there. Big.
It's very similar to ours. It's
It is.
smaller
Yeah.
a little. I think
It
it's
is
a
same
little smaller.
stuff. I don't
Yeah.
think there's anything really.
Except it says Disneyland instead of Walt Disney World.
Yeah.
Yeah, they scratch out the.
Yeah.
I mean, other assorted little stores out there. But again, their downtown Disney connects the Disneyland Hotel and Paradise Pier past the Grand Californian to Disneyland Park and California Adventure.
I think the best way to explain it for anybody who's vacationed a lot here in Orlando is it's very similar to Universal Studios here, the way it's
Very
set up.
similar to City Walk.
Yeah.
Yep, that's a good point. That's a very good point. But it was an amazing few days that we spent. What was it, 5 days?
5 days. Yeah.
It was. We had such an amazing time. It really was. And
I couldn't eat another bite by the end of the.
yeah,
trip.
I feed you well.
Yeah.
I feed you well. I make sure you eat good. You know, but you know, it's people, and I guess now you guys. Craig's the newest member of the team. Shaun's with us almost a year. You know, when you're on the outside looking and you think, oh, it's so great to be able to do all that stuff. And it is that we get to do that. But you start to understand, oh, dear Lord.
It's extremely tiring.
There's
It
a
is.
lot of work to do.
Yeah.
And, you know, these videos don't shoot themselves. These pictures don't take themselves. These reviews don't write themselves. I'm not complaining. I'm not complaining. I have the best job in the world. And I remind myself of that every day. But it is tiring. But it
But
was
it's so
great.
worth it.
We
Yeah.
had such a good time.
And then we ended by taking the red eye. It's like, whew.
Well, I have to. I can't. I want every minute I have there. I don't want to
So did
leave.
we, yeah.
To get at, to leave at like 10 o'clock in the morning to come. I don't want to. Let me have that last day.
That would have been devastating. The last day was probably my favorite.
Yeah.
I think, yeah. We did a lot, just crammed everything in really last minute, but it was fun.
That's also when you found out you were going to Hawaii and Alaska.
Yeah, that too.
That wasn't bad.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Okay.
all right, to close out the final portion. Oh wait, do we have to do our top 3 things?
Yeah,
we
can
do.
go through those pretty quick, I think.
Yeah.
That's right. I almost forgot. So, remind me what mine were, Dustin. Oh, Napa Rose and Saucy. Yep, absolutely. My number one thing there. Catal and Trader Sam's. Of course, everything's around food for me.
I think mine are
Yeah, I think
too.
they're going to be very similar. Yeah.
And definitely my top three things, no question. Moving over to Mr. Martin.
Yeah, the Uva Bar. I love that it's in the middle of downtown Disney. It's a great place that people watch, and on a beautiful day in California, it's a great place to sit, drink, and have some food. Napa Rose, saucy. It was the experience. The food was great, but he just set it over the top. Steakhouse 55, the steaks, the rubs, the wine. What else can you say?
That's right.
All right, Mr. Dustin.
Yeah, I have a couple different ones. So I have Trader Sam's, obviously. I think everybody's going to have Trader Sam's on there. Uva Bar, just like Corey said. But one of my favorite things in downtown Disney is D Street because it's way different from the one we have. It's more like a little, what the heck is so funny?
Why does Tom's head look like Chairman Mao?
I didn't have a good straight-on photo of him, so I had to go into the Tom Bell archives and.
And you found the one that made him look like Chairman Mao?
Oh, poor
I'm
Tom.
sorry, I'm just looking at it. And I'm like,
I just love how
wow,
multicultural we look.
he looks, we really do. He looks like Chairman Mao. Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah, anyway, D Street's different. If you're into collectibles and especially like Star Wars comic books,
Yeah, D
stuff
Street
like
is
that,
pretty cool.
It's really cool over there down at downtown Disney. So whoever's next.
Mr. Shaun.
So Underground Gallery is probably my favorite store, at least in Disneyland, maybe even between Disneyland and Walt Disney World.
Really?
Yeah. I really hope we get something similar. And then Trader Sam's, obviously, it's like the best bar.
And we're hearing that's what's coming out here. that we're
I
going
would
to be
love
getting
it.
that, or downtown
It needs
Disney?
to be bigger if it does come.
Oh, need much
Yeah.
bigger, yeah.
And then Napa Rose. It was the best meal I've ever had.
I think we'll be having staff meetings at Trader Sam's if they bring in here.
I would
That's
love
true.
that. Yeah.
Be cool.
Oh yeah.
I could walk home from there.
Yeah, you could.
Not with all those
You
mugs.
probably should.
Right. All right, Gregory.
Okay, Steakhouse 55, just because of the history, like I talked about, the rubs, all that. It was good. Trader Sam's, done it. Uva Bar, we had a lot of good times there. We were there probably second
Just
second next to Trader Sam's. Like, we
Yeah.
were there almost every night. Yeah, just don't go there and then go shopping afterwards. Spend a lot of money.
Oh, your
doing that.
girlfriend liked that.
Yeah, she made out from that, but I didn't so much.
And finally, Chairman Mao.
I'm sorry, Tom.
Okay, my top number one, of course, it's gotta be Trader Sam's, just on the basis of those dang pork wings. Steakhouse 55, that root beer dessert is awesome, and then you also gotta talk about the breakfast at Steakhouse 55.
That's true,
I mean, if you're gonna want to sit down breakfast at Disneyland Resort, you're not gonna pay that much more at Steakhouse 55, and you get better service and a better meal.
We were the only ones in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was great.
I mean, compare it to your breakfast at Catal or at Rainforest Cafe, and you're not going to pay any more. So,
And it's so much better. It's really phenomenal food for breakfast. Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that.
and of course, I got a top three always has to be Whitewater Snacks. I love the nachos there. So
When I was making these, I had no idea what that was. That's in Grand California.
that's the
Okay.
quick service in Grand California.
I didn't see that.
All right. To close out our show, as we've done with the last two, Dustin has put together a video covering the resorts and the downtown Disney area. And we're going to let that play us out. So thanks so much for joining us, everyone. We hope you enjoyed it. We'll be back with you again next time with another edition of the DIS Unplugged. Take care. And remember, keep your kids out of the damn hot tub.
Thank you.